Oh, what a glorious day. It's such a glorious day. The sky, it may be raining, Anita Marks, right now in Camden, New Jersey, but I can tell you right now, the sun is out. It's never been brighter. Food has never tasted sweeter. The wine has never been better. There are fish jumping out of the Delaware River right now. Enjoy, because the Philadelphia Eagles are going to the Super Bowl for the second time in 6 years. My name is Dan. Anita Marks is with us. This is Market Movers. What an absolute rager of a weekend, Anita Marks. Rager of a weekend. If you like Philadelphia sports, how are you?
And you love Philadelphia sports, so you are the king of Monday, my friend. Congratulations, unbelievable.
Thank
Here's
you.
the thing, and I watched. I don't know about you, so I had a number of Philadelphia Eagles fans in my apartment. Was cheering for the Eagles. As you know, preseason, I picked the Eagles to win the Super Bowl. So obviously, there's a lot of money invested in that in the futures market for me. I did have them -2.5. I played them a variety of ways. So I was rooting for them. But like at the end of the day, and again, like understand, like I have no fandom. I'm not a fan of anything or any team. Okay. So I live vicariously through my friends who are fans. So I root for whatever's going to make me money, right? But I wanted a good game. And Purdy goes out, Josh Johnson goes out, and then now they're like, what kind of offense were they even running? Like there was talk and speculation that Christian McCaffrey was going to come in and be their fifth string quarterback. So it's great. I'm so excited for you, but like a part of me was like, I wanted a better game.
I thought it was a great game.
I'm sure because you're a fan, Dan. So yeah, I'm sure you love the game, right? Like there was no stress level for you.
Yeah.
I get it, but like somebody who just enjoys sports, it was kind of like, well, and then we did get a better game with Kansas City and the Bengals, right?
The game was a lot just kind of like taking a vacation, which I loved. Just absolutely loved it, Anita. I was sitting around. I was saying before we went on air, I could have had a Mai Tai, I could have kicked my shoes off, sat on a beach, watched the game. It was unbelievable. It was fantastic. And all these people this morning waking up and saying, boo-hoo, the Eagles haven't played anybody. Well, guess what? You play the people in front of you, and you knock the quarterbacks out who are under center on the opposite side of the field. That's what they did, and that's why they're going to the Super Bowl, because their defense and their defensive line specifically is historically good. We're going to get into Super Bowl narratives and everything like that. But we do want to talk about the lines on Sporttrade, the markets on Sporttrade specific to Super Bowl 57, which is now set between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll pull it up here. We'll head into the markets for the Super Bowl. The Chiefs installed at $46 per contract per share at plus 115 American odds. The Eagles are $54.50 per share to win Super Bowl 57. Anita, are you surprised by those numbers?
No, I'm not surprised. And I'm excited, right? As soon as futures odds were released on Sporttrade, I jumped on the Eagles. I got them at $13 per share.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm loving life right now. The conversation really should be, should I sell them right now? Obviously I'm not. I do like the Eagles. I believe the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. We're going to get into all those reasons why. So I'm not going to sell them. But, for fans out there who do like Kansas City and saw the heroics of Patrick Mahomes last night against a really good Cincinnati Bengals defense, I would imagine there'd be a certain percentage of people out there that would be, Anita, I'd sell if I were you. I'm not going to sell, Dan, because I do believe the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl, but I think that's an interesting conversation to have.
I also think they're going to win, not just because I'm an Eagles fan. I legitimately think they are better. They're installed as a 2.5-point favorite. The Eagles minus 2.5. It's at 48.5. That's plus 104. It's a great price. And the Chiefs plus 2.5 at $53 per share is minus 115. The total at 49.5. The over at $52 per share at minus 111. The under is $50 per share at minus 102. I'm going to play a game with you, Anita, and we're going to call this game Do You Care or Not? So yes or no, with our favorite Super Bowl narratives coming into the football game. So I'll throw a narrative out there. You tell me whether or not you care. The fact that the Kelce brothers are in fact brothers. Do you care? In the next 2 weeks, do you care that Travis and Jason Kelce have the same parents?
Not for 1 second. And
I mean, get ready to hear about it for the next 2 weeks.
I don't care. But this is good. We're going to hear so many stories on Super Bowl, on the plethora of hours that we're going to see prior to the game on Super Bowl Sunday. Over, under, how many packages are going to run, how many stories are going to be told with the parents, what parents are going to be wearing what jersey. I mean, no, I don't
Split
care.
Jersey.
I don't
Split
care.
jersey.
I don't care. I want analysis on the matchup. I don't care about the family dynamics here. So 0, I do not care.
I love that. And I couldn't agree more. They do have a great podcast together, so check that out. Andy Reid versus the Eagles. Do you care or not care?
I do care because I think the coaching matchup here is going to be really, really interesting, right? Nick Sirianni oozes Philadelphia, right? Like last week, I love that clip we saw. I know what the F I'm doing. His gum spitting, flying out. He's yelling at somebody. Like he just, and their style, the way they play, they come out to the wall. Like they are aggressive in the first quarter. Like his style and the way that he coaches compared to Andy Reid, and the fact that Andy Reid was there 14 years, right, Dan? How many years was Andy in Philadelphia? 14 years?
I want to say 14. Let me get IT on that real quick.
Right. So yeah, I mean, and I know we're going to get into the specifics in regard to why you and I do feel the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl, but I think coaching and tactics are going to play a really big role in the Super Bowl, especially with Patrick Mahomes going against that Philadelphia Eagles front seven.
I couldn't agree more. I think if anything, it's going to be the talking point because if you look prior to Andy Reid's arrival with the Philadelphia Eagles, with the exception of Dick Vermeil in 1980, and way back in 1960 when they won the NFL championship. This is not exactly a historically successful franchise. Buddy Ryan, Rich Kotite, Ray Rhodes also ran. For whatever reason, Buddy Ryan is revered in the Philadelphia area for a defense that never got past the second round of the playoffs. So Andy Reid has basically instilled the foundation that has led to 20 plus years of success in Philadelphia. He is the reason the Eagles continue to be as good as they are, in my opinion. And the national narrative on Nick Sirianni is so funny to me. When he did his press conference 2 years ago, I believe today, barely got through his initial press conference. People were like, what the hell are they doing? Who is this joker? And now they don't like him because he's got swag. He's got an attitude to him. And I love it. Now he is the pander king, right? Like if this guy were the coach of the Colts, he'd be eating at Steak and Shake every single day. This guy, for whatever reason, just loves himself, talking about how much he loves Philly and John and all that stuff. He is the pander king by far. Okay, so we both care about that. Do you care about this narrative? Is Patrick Mahomes really hurt? Does he really have a high ankle sprain?
I believe he does. I don't know. Are there people out there like the narrative
well, I think people are asking themselves.
Hamlin is really not alive. Are there conspiracy theorists? What is the word?
Conspiracy theorists? Yeah, I think people are asking themselves today,
that don't believe. What is this? Like Roger Clemens? Was it ketchup? Was it blood? No,
I think there's a legitimate question this morning.
It wasn't Roger. It was
Curt Schilling. I think there's a legitimate question this morning whether or not he has a high ankle sprain or a regular ankle sprain. Varying degrees of severity. Because to me, I watched that game and I said, okay, he can't transfer any weight. Actually, there's a highlight on the TV above me right now. He's not really transferring any weight from his back foot to his front foot when he throws. He's putting all of his weight on his front foot. He's just that talented that he can still spin the ball in so many different ways, throwing just off his front foot. So I think he's hurt, but I think there's a sizable portion of people who watched the game yesterday and they were like, how bad is this ankle really?
I think it looked pretty bad. I mean, we didn't see him be as mobile and move around as much as we've seen him in the past. Now, is it a high ankle sprain? Is it a regular sprain? I don't know. I think we're seeing different quarterback play, Dan, with both quarterbacks. Yet again, I told you, Hurts did not look like Hurts against the Giants. Granted, it was a blowout. Offensive line played exceptionally well. The Giants couldn't even sniff him, right? Much different scenario with the 49ers. And whenever Hurts did run, I always felt like I was, as a fan, right? Whenever he did run, weren't you like and there was a lot more physicality this game against the 49ers than anything he faced against the Giants. So I do believe there's an ankle sprain there. Is it high? Is it low? Regardless, I think both these quarterbacks. I don't think these are going to heal in 2 weeks now. Yeah. So I think both these quarterbacks come into the Super Bowl with ailments. Obviously, Mahomes with the ankle and Hurts with the shoulder.
I thought Jalen looked bad yesterday, frankly. I think there are a lot of throws to the outside he just couldn't hit. He couldn't muster them. I thought he shied away from contact. Now we've actually differed in our opinion. I think Jalen has done a very good job of shielding himself for a majority of the season and preserving himself. He goes out of bounds all the time. There was a hit in the third quarter, though, from a Niners safety who came up and gave him a good shot to his shoulder, and he was hurting. He was in pain after that, and you kind of saw him. There was one play where he broke a tackle and got to the outside at the beginning of the third quarter. But other than that, I don't think he felt very good. I don't think he played all that well. And I was surprised to see them sneak him on back-to-back plays before they got into the end zone in order for them to score that touchdown and put them up 28-7. Our last narrative, Anita, do you care or not? The narrative that the Eagles have played no one. Do you care?
I care a little bit, not a lot, right? Like every game is different. Every matchup is different. Again, and I'll go back to this matchup against the 49ers and the Eagles yesterday. I won with my Eagles play. I had them -1.5 at the half. I had them -2.5 in the game. I won handsomely with my play in the game, but I lost my ass with my prop bets. Why?
Yeah.
The way that you win, the way that you beat the 49ers is through the air. 63% of the scoring against the 49ers this year came in the passing game. They have the #1 rushing defense in the NFL. I faded all the running backs. I didn't even think for a second Gainwell would score a touchdown, let alone, Boston Scott, who's a Giants killer, not a 49ers killer. 4 rushing touchdowns against the #1 rushing defense in the NFL. Who would have thought that? So, I care, but again, every matchup is different, and you never know going into a game how an offensive coordinator, how a defensive coordinator is going to game plan for that opponent.
We're 2 weeks away from Eagles Chiefs, right? And my thought to this was, for the people who have watched the Eagles all season long, they can run the ball on anybody. Now, I was surprised they had 4 rushing touchdowns against the 49ers, but you can't tell me the Chiefs front seven is nearly as good as the 49ers front seven. So sure, take your time. So go for it. I'm potting you down. All good. We'll go to the one shot until Anita is okay. Hopefully you're okay, Anita. My analysis here, 2 weeks away from Super Bowl 57, is the Eagles are going to be able to run the football. They may not even have to throw the football all that often in order to put up points. They put up 37 points. Now, they were +3 in the turnover differential, right? You can't always assume turnovers are going to happen, but the Eagles can run the football on anybody because they have, bar none, the best offensive line in the National Football League. Nick Bosa, although compromised, was dominated thoroughly throughout the entire football game, and I don't see that changing. Frank Clark is a game wrecker. Man, that Eagles offensive line is really good. Did you watch the way Lane Johnson was pass protecting against Nick Bosa yesterday? Hope you were. Guy hasn't allowed a sack in over 2 years. I hope you were paying attention. We're back.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm dealing with some kind of sinus bug, so I just had a coughing attack. Stuff happens. You were talking about Lane Johnson. Were you watching Fox before the game, and Jay Glazer, 5 minutes before the game, announced that Lane Johnson re-injured his groin against the Giants?
I had heard that. I had heard that.
I nearly fell off my couch.
And yet, he dominated him.
Yeah.
He really did. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you all right? Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, we'll move. we'll move on. We'll just do picks real quick now, and we can always reserve the right to change them. I think you said you're going with the Eagles, right?
Yeah, I'm not changing that.
Okay, go Birds. Go Birds. We'll have tons of props pop up in Sporttrade within the app in the next 2 weeks. So next week on Market Movers, we will discuss what we want to talk about props wise. We had a great one last night, which was, will Patrick Mahomes run for a first down, which I ended up buying 2.5 shares of, sold it, forgot I had sold it, and then freaked out when he ran for the first down at the end of the game, thinking I just made like $200, only to then realize that I sold it like an hour earlier. That's what happens.
Why did you sell it?
Well, here's what happened. I was doing a live stream. And it was a 3-hour solo live stream. And I think by the end, I was just drunk by not from drinking, from hearing myself talk. I think I was just drunk on my own voice. I needed to go to sleep. I needed a glass of water. And I just completely forgot. I don't know what happened. We posted the clip. It's funny. I freak out. I'm like, we got it. We hit it. Second straight week. We hit a prop on Sporttrade. And then I'm going through looking for my settlement in the app. And I go, what? Oh, wait. Oh no. I sold it for a loss like an hour and a half earlier.
What were the other prop bets in that game that you could have bought on Sporttrade?
So a great one. I thought it was going to be the trade of the year. You could have traded on whether or not the game was going to go into overtime. So I was able to buy 35 shares at $7 a share for the game to go into overtime. This was when the Bengals punted the ball. So the Bengals punt the ball, 2020. There was like 35 seconds left, and that was trading at $7. So I could have got one over $3,000 if there was not a late penalty against the Bengals that ended up pushing the Chiefs into field goal position. So I lost that one, and I ended up losing the other one. Another fun prop we had was scoreorigami, whether or not the score was going to be unique in the history of the NFL. That was a fun one. That one was only trading at like $1.
Right. I did see that one.
Yeah. So that was a good one. But yeah, I burned by Mahomes rushing for a first down. But we will live to prop another day.
I'm excited to see what prop bets are going to be out there for the Super Bowl. I'm definitely going to play those.
Yeah, me too. I mean, prop bets are so much fun on Sporttrade, again, because you can buy and sell. You've got a couple NBA plays for us, but before we do that, we want to show you, we'll pull the app back up, our brand new futures markets in the National Basketball Association. We have a whole bunch, not only just NBA championship, we've got the sixth man of the year, defensive player of the year, most improved player, most valuable player, and the rookie of the year. I do want to highlight MVP quickly because it does show, Anita, how you can make money in a very short period of time on Sporttrade. Saturday, Nuggets Sixers coming into the game. Nikola Jokic, I believe, was trading at $58.50 per share to win the MVP award. Joel Embiid goes out and drops 47 and 18 and a Sixers win. He goes from $13 per share all the way up to 24.
Wow.
So he goes up $9 per share, and you could have sold that back and made your money that way. Is there any market in particular you want to see? I think you'd mentioned sixth man, right?
Yeah, and by the way, I like Embiid. Obviously you should have jumped on it before the game against Denver, but this is a 76ers team. They're playing a lot better basketball right now, and is the narrative that you are or the voters tired of the Joker winning it a third time?
I think the narrative, as it pertains to the Sixers, I think the narrative is people are kind of tired of their act. They haven't gotten past the second round in 5 years, 5 straight trips to the playoffs. They've never been to a conference final. I think everyone's just kind of like, all right, you guys continue to talk and talk and talk. We don't care. As it pertains to Jokic, I don't think there's any doubt he's an unbelievable player. But if Michael Jordan and LeBron James have never won 3 consecutive MVPs, how can you give him a third? But having said that, you look at the market. We'll go back to MVP market. You look at the market, and he's got over half the market. So to me, this is a great short opportunity, right? If you wanted to short Nikola Jokic, meaning bet on him to not win MVP, you're taking the field, you could do that as well. We have actually, this just went live today. Our other markets, Anita, I'll show you a huge short position somebody has in another market. So you would be playing 52.50 to win 46.55 on anybody else winning MVP. I think that's a pretty good trade.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. Again, we just launched these today, and we have. Let's go back to the sixth man of the year.
The sixth man, yeah. What's the deal with Westbrook right now? What's he trading at? Because Christian Wood now is going to be ineligible because he's going to be starting now. So in order to be eligible for the sixth man, you can't start more than half the games, and so he's going to become ineligible. I think the value is with Westbrook.
So Westbrook trading at 41.5, which is the equivalent of plus 138. We've taken some pretty big trades on Malcolm Brogdon already to win. He's at 31 plus 218. And I have it up here. Somebody bought 30 shares of Malcolm Brogdon at $25 per share. So he's already seen a $6 increase in that. He bought it at 25. It's now at 31. He bought 30 shares. So quick math here. Whatever 30 times 6 is, that's how much he's already up. So kudos to him.
What's the value of Poole?
Right now, Jordan Poole is $2. So he's plus 4,802.
I threw a little. So I do believe Westbrook wins it, especially the Lakers now. What are they? They're 13th in the West. They're trying to make a really big push to try to get into the postseason. Westbrook has definitely been a part of that. He's accepted that sixth-man role. He's been playing really well. I want to say his last 6 games, he's averaging somewhere like 22, 23 points a game. So I right now, I do believe Westbrook is going to win it. But if Poole's $2, I'll throw a little coin on that. That's how I'd roll.
The trade I mentioned before. So we have Tyrese Maxey here, who's at $21 per share, which is plus 369.
He just came back.
He just came back. We do have a trader and a bettor who has shorted Maxey to win, again, meaning that he won't win. 132 and a half shares of Maxey at an average cost of $18.63. So that means that, let's see. So he's selling at 14. So that's a massive position right there. Which means if he's selling at 14, then he or she is paying $86 per share. Times 132 and a half shares. So a massive, massive order there. But a lot of people, and I'll be honest with you, Anita, because we have two-way markets here, a lot of people see this as free money. We have a lot of people going into our futures markets. Like, for example, we'll get back on track here with their NBA plays in a sec. But like a lot of people will go into our Stanley Cup championship market and they'll scroll down and they'll go to the Penguins or they'll go to the Wild or the Jets, the Flames, a team that's trading at less than $5. So they're paying $95, per share for that team to not win. But they have a bankroll that is such that it's basically free money to them. They'll buy 30, 40 shares at that high number because in their mind, they're basically guaranteeing themselves $300, $400, $500 at the end of the season.
It's money. It's money making money, Dan. It's how the world works.
Yeah. No, you're totally right.
The world works, Dan.
You're totally right.
What the Bruins? What are the Bruins sitting at right now?
So they've had a massive increase, obviously. They're just an absolute wagon. They're at 16.5 plus 496. They have 6 losses in regulation through 60 games. It's unbelievable.
Excuse me. Yeah. I'll be right back, sir.
So the Avalanche, the Avalanche are only $12. That's plus 719, Anita. We had a trader get them at 50 cents. They had a bit of a dip, bit of a lull. No, the Avalanche.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But defending champs. Okay, we'll get back on track here. We do want to talk NBA for this evening, and we do want to talk about golf as well. So you've got a couple NBA plays for us tonight. Let me pull up the market. You go ahead.
Well, I just have one.
Okay.
And you've got the Nets going up against the Lakers. So I like the Lakers plus 8.5, and you could get that right now at $49. So the Nets still without KD. They're coming off a big game against the Knicks, and I think that this is a look-ahead spot for them because they're going up against Boston on Wednesday. Meanwhile, the Lakers are coming in. They're pissed off because that horrible non-call, right, with LeBron against the Boston Celtics, losing in overtime. So I'm really curious, and the NBA came out and acknowledged that they screwed up. So I'm really interested to see how this game is going to be officiating. Lonnie Walker's back. He put up 13 points against the Celtics. Hachimura, this will be his 3rd game. So I just think this is too many points. Listen, I do believe the Nets are going to win, but I think this is just too many points for the Lakers not to cover. So I do like the Lakers getting the 8.5. And again, you can buy that at $49.
So I'm on the same game. I have a bit of a first half play that hopefully you'll be able to trade out of at halftime. I'm on the under 218.5 here for several reasons.
I like the under as well.
Yeah. So the actual under is 233.5. This is an alternate under. The under 233.5 is at 58.5, but I'm taking 218.5, and you're thinking, wow, that's really low, Dan. And you'd be correct. That's at $27 per share, which is plus 265. No LeBron tonight, no AD tonight. Obviously, Kevin Durant's also not playing. I just don't know who scores for LA. Brooklyn, kind of a sieve defensively if Nick Claxton's not on the court. I really think this is an opportunity in a sluggish first half, perhaps, without those 3 stars to maybe double your money to go to 27 to 56 and maybe jump out of that per share. My other one is Kings plus 1.5. Light the beam, baby. They've been fantastic. I love rooting for the Kings because they have not been good in 2 decades. They are at plus 1.5, 54.5, so minus 122. Second of 2 games back-to-back in Minnesota. So they actually lost to the Timberwolves on Saturday night, 117-110, Anita. But I like this team, and teams that play back-to-back in the same arena against the same team, it's kind of like a mini playoff series. You hear guys talk about this all the time. They do not want to lose that second game. And frankly, I'm just not a big believer in the Timberwolves. I'm really not. It took a huge effort from Anthony Edwards on Saturday to beat the Kings. I like the Kings in this spot. And for the extra $2 per share to get the extra 1.5, I like that because on the money line, they're 52.5. So give me the Kings plus 1.5. And I like the alternate under 218.5. For Brooklyn and LA tonight, with the emphasis on trading out of that at halftime.
I like it. I like it a lot. I do have a college basketball play.
Yes, please.
I love Baylor tonight, getting the 3.5 against Texas. And again, that's another buy at $49. They've won 6 straight. They had a great comeback win against Arkansas. And they're 12. They've won 12 of their last 13 matchups against Texas. That's who they're playing tonight. George is their best player. He's leading the way. He's definitely going to be a lottery pick. They have the second best offense in college basketball, and they're really great at second chance shots with offensive boards. Meanwhile, Texas, they're coming off a really bad loss to Tennessee. They lost by 11. They have the 10th ranked offense in college basketball, and they rank outside of 200 in three-point shooting percentage. So Baylor is really hot right now. And I love them getting the points, getting 3.5 at $49.
Really like that. Pulled it up on unabated here. And it looks like we have a very competitive price. I'm not going to say it's the best price. We have a very competitive price. But yeah, I look at this game and I see Baylor 38.5 and 49 for 3.5 points. To me, that feels like it's worth it. Plus, you're already in plus money. You're getting a 3.5 point spread at plus 102. I like that.
I think Baylor wins straight up.
Oh,
but
okay.
I do, but just for what, $2 more? What's they're $52, right? 50. What are they to win straight up?
So Baylor to win straight up is 38.50, as opposed to 49.
So,
yeah.
So I mean, I'll pay the extra
$10.50. Yeah.
For them to get the for the 3.5 points.
Sure.
I'll pay the extra.
All right, there you have it. Couple plays on the show, which we don't typically do. Go ahead.
And I know we don't the golf odds aren't up yet, right?
Not yet. They'll be up tomorrow. Yep. But we can definitely talk about it because you're on a heater. Maybe you got sick because you're on such a heater.
I am fighting.
That's okay. I'll take it. Anita correctly gave you Max Homa last week to win the Farmers. Homa was down 5 strokes, ended up winning by 2. So what a trade that would have been. I unfortunately, I don't have what he was trading going into Saturday, which was the last round. Obviously, the PGA trying to avoid the NFL. But his 6th career victory. Go ahead.
So I had Rahm. If you recall, I had Rahm.
Yes.
I had Finau. I had Homa, and I had Montgomery. Those are the 4 golfers that I liked coming into the Farmers Insurance last week. So who do I like today? Coming into Pebble, and back, by the way, to a Thursday start. Don't forget, last week was a Wednesday start. I like Fitzpatrick coming in. Here are the metrics that you need on this course to win. Greens and regulation is the most important. The last 16 winners ranked in the top 5 coming in on the season. Top 5 in greens and regulation. Greens hit 14 of the last 16. We're in the top 6 of greens hit. It's a links course. You need to play well in the wind because it's on the peninsula, and also you need course experience. Very few first-time golfers win at Pebble. So I like Fitzpatrick to win. Tied for 6th here last year. He's tied right now this season in greens and regulation. He's tied for 7th, and also he's 19th in putting. I also like Hoagie to finish in the top 5. Last year he won. And his metrics, he was 1st in strokes gained total, 5th on approach, 8th putting. This season stats, he's 16th in greens and regulation. He's 1st in strokes gained on approach, and he's 2nd in proximity to approach on the hole. So I'm going with Fitzpatrick to win, and I'll throw some coin on Hoagie as well, because who knows? Maybe it's a repeat performance for him. If not, I do like him finishing in the top 5. I think he'll be at the top of the leaderboard on Sunday.
Love it. Those are your picks from Anita Marks. And I even threw some in there too. Not usually a picks guy, but I figured, hey, why not? Anita, thank you so much. We love having you on every Monday, and we are going to get you on a live trading show soon. We'll be live trading me and Anita, you'll get multiple hours of this content, not just a half hour. How excited can that be?
And I promise I won't hack up a lung. I promise. I promise. I'll do better. I'll do better.
Please feel better, my friend. Anita Marks, thank you so much. Yeah.
I really do feel fine.
We've had several coughing episodes on this show. I had one a month ago where I had to throw the cough button on and take myself off.
I don't have a cough button.
I know.
Sorry.
I hit it for you.
I had to call timeout. Timeout, Dan. I got to go get some water. Anyway,
I hit it for you. Don't worry. We run the board in addition to hosting the show here. Anita Marks, thank you so much. This has been Market Movers. We will catch you guys same time, same place next week.